Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the thumbnail, it has been 1 year since I've owned my Abarth 500, and it just so happens that some maintenance is due on it. I already did the oil change, but what I have for it today is some spark plugs and also the engine air filter. But I figured since I was gonna do the air filter anyways, why not treat it to a new part? And so I got it an intake. Here it is. All right, so here is the new speed intake, still in the box, but you'll soon see this is not in how to install or do spark plugs or anything like that, but I figured I show you guys while I'm installing it. But yeah, this right here is the main piece right there. And what I like about this intake is the fact that I will be able to keep the stock intake cover, which I actually like a lot. I remember the first time I saw this, I thought it was like a valve cover or engine cover or something like that, and come to find out this is the intake box, the intake air filter box. So this is going to remain. We're going to add on the new speed part right in here. It should also sound a little bit different too. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take off this over here since I need to get to the spark plugs anyway, since I'm gonna do spark plugs. Okay, got everything back inside, all the old spark plugs out. You saw how dirty they were. New ones are in. And once you get these clips off, it's not that hard to do. But these clips are very sensitive. So just be careful with those. That's really the only advice I got, because again, this is not a how-to. I'm just working on my car and you guys are watching. Anyways, I fired it up, works. And now we're gonna get the intake in. Okay guys, something to note. You see right over here, this is the intake breather hose, right where I have those two zip ties. The intake breather hose originally goes into the red intake cover. Now you're actually routing it with a union piece that they provide, with the hose that they provide right there where the zip ties are, and then that's going to go right between this little part, this middle metal piece that goes in between the hose and the intake filter, which is going to go right about here. And back on the original cover, you actually have to cover it up with this little piece that they provide. It doesn't seem that it fits well. You have to kind of stretch it out before you put it on, or spit on it or something, whatever you're into, just to get this on. All right, another thing, I got pretty much the same filter that was just in there, just a brand new one. This is obviously to go with the original intake that's going to stay on. You'll see soon what comes with the aftermarket intake. All right, now it's a matter of just getting these screwed on back to this, getting that clip back on, and just kind of smashing that down, because basically this all kind of comes off together and sits right on like pretty much any other like engine cover that just snaps on. Where basically the whole thing does, you just gotta make sure that's back on there. And this should be pretty much set, and then we're gonna go with the new filter for the aftermarket intake. There you are, look at that. It's just gonna go right in real quick. All right, we are done with the install. I got new spark plugs. Already did the oil change, but I didn't record that. And I got a brand new intake. So now we'll do the before that I recorded before this, and we'll do the after right now. All right, so you guys heard the difference there. It does at about 3,000 RPM. It goes. Okay, sorry, I don't know if that's exactly what it sounds like, but it does this crazy sound that it didn't do before. And also, what I didn't expect, that it does a pop back in the exhaust. I don't want to upset my neighbors, so we'll save that for another time, or maybe when I'm out and about. Yeah, we'll take the car out and we'll talk about 1 year ownership with the Abarth 500. Let's go. All right, let's get her started. Of course, this is not a cold start, and as she starts with the new intake, not a huge difference, at least to me. Anywho, let's go out for a drive. All right, folks, here we go. Oh, I hope you guys can hear that. Oh, man, it's a lot of power in the front tires when we do that. Oh, guys, check out this Mercedes coming up. Look at that. What do we have here? Sounds insane. Hope you guys heard that. That was with the windows down. So we're gonna try to do those revs again, and you'll see that 3,000 RPM, or actually when the boost goes up, you'll hear it. Oh yeah, see when you're parked, it just does. But when you're out driving, it sounds like, you know, a blow-off valve, pretty much. Yeah, a little bit harder to hear with the windows up, but it's, from my perspective, yeah, you can hear it. Oh, maybe you heard that one. That one was a little thick. All right, we'll pull over and we'll talk. All right, so 1 year of ownership of the Abarth. If you're new to the channel, hope you guys consider subscribing. I do car content, motorcycle content. I go to car events. I have my Abarth 500. I have an Alfa Romeo 4C and a Ducati Panigale. And as of now, I have a Porsche Boxster, but that might be headed out soon. We'll see. Anywho, back to the Abarth. Again, if you guys don't follow the channel, you don't know the story of how I came about to get this car. It started off basically with my wife owning a Fiat 500 Sport. She bought it just to learn how to drive stick shift. She ended up selling that. So I wanted to compare the Fiat 500 to the Abarth. So I was fortunate enough to be able to find one on Turo locally. And if you don't know what Turo is, link in the description to that. Turo is basically like an Airbnb for cars. I rented an Abarth from someone and quickly fell in love with it. The sounds it makes and the way it drives, the fun factor. You know, it's not the fastest, but you feel fast in it. And then, of course, just driving stick shift is just always fun. It's enjoyable. So I started then looking for Abarths to buy and came really close to buying one off of, I believe it was CarMax, but at the time, I should go back. This was March of 2020, obviously a year ago. So if you're watching this in March of 2021. So March of 2020, things locked down really fast here in the Bay Area and probably all parts of the world, or most parts of the world. So getting a car from CarMax was pretty much like a no-go. I had put down a deposit and then I took it back because I then found something locally. So in a sense, I got lucky because I found a better deal here locally in the Bay Area. So I got my deposit back from CarMax because they couldn't send any other cars out. That car, I think, was somewhere, I can't remember if it was Illinois or somewhere. It was somewhere out. And they couldn't get it here to California because it was right when the lockdown started. So a few weeks go by and things sort of open up a little bit. And I found this at a local Mercedes dealership with only 27,000 miles on it for under 10 grand, clean title. I think I got a really good deal. It's a 2013. I think at the time of purchase, they did like oil change, filter, your basic things. And so I didn't have to do too much to the car. It was, like really low miles. I had some basic maintenance done. The tires were brand new, Pirellis. Basically, all I did was tint the windows right away, just to save the interior. Although I think in the beginning when I first had this car, it was this car and the Porsche inside of the garage, so it wasn't sitting out too much because that was before I got my Alfa Romeo 4C. But anyways, I'm going on and on. 1 year. Originally, this car was a toy. I was commuting with my wife and we were sharing the CT200H that we have in the fleet, and I was only using this sort of as like another toy alongside with the Porsche and the Ducati. I basically 3 toys. One major change was that we were no longer commuting, so the Abarth turned into a commuter car. I was using the Porsche a little bit, maybe like 2 days a week to commute, and then the Abarth the other 4 days. But now the Porsche I'm not using, and the Abarth has become my 5-day-a-week commuter car. And I'll tell you, as a commuter car, it does well. It's got that fun factor on the freeway. If you need to speed up and get in front of someone, if you want to just cruise and save a little bit of gas, you can do that as well. If you want to just just have a little bit of fun and take the back roads on the way back home, it's not a boring car. So it's a good commuter car, but it's also not a boring car at all. So you could have fun while you're getting from point A to point B. No troubles, like no check engine lights or anything like that. Really easy to maintain yourself if you want to. Now, it's not as easy as back in the day I had some Honda Civics, and now you're talking about a turbocharged engine that is jam-packed into a small engine bay. So when I say it's easy to maintain, I mean you can do it yourself. I've done the oil, I've done the oil filter, I did the spark plugs today, I did the intake, and those things are in a sense easy, but they're in tight spaces. So if you're someone with some big hands, it does become a bit of a problem to work on. But also, I believe, and I haven't taken it anywhere to get maintenance done. I've done it myself, or at least what I can do for myself. But I would imagine the things that I can't do are not that expensive. I mean, you're talking about just your brakes. They're little brakes, so that shouldn't be too expensive at all. And if I had to do anything else, I think taking it to your local Fiat or any other European mechanic, I don't think you're going to break the bank with this car. So Point is, if you're up to it, you can do the maintenance on your own and save, maybe a couple $100 here and there, or you can take it to someone once you reach that point where you can't do the maintenance yourself and not break the bank. You're not going to spend thousands of dollars on this super fun turbocharged Italian car. So yeah, point is, 1 year of ownership, really enjoying this car. Didn't really want it to be my commuter car, but I guess things change, and I'm just glad that I do have it for that reason, because I think had I been stuck with the Porsche and the Alpha and the Ducati only, I think putting the Porsche through that all the time is doable, but not something I'd prefer even less than taking this to get to be my commuter car. So yeah, even though it was meant to be a toy, surprise, it's a great commuter car as well. And eventually I want to make this like the full-on toy car where I just have a lot of fun with it, which means another car, maybe, we'll see. But we'll go over that some other time, because this is all about the Abarth. 1 year, bought it at 27,000 miles. It has, I think right now, 33,000 miles in 1 year. Good maintenance, good driver, fun driver, easy to work on if you don't mind getting around the tight spaces. And yeah, just definitely a keeper. Why not? Bargain, under 10 grand, 2013 with 27,000 miles on it. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comments if you want to know. Like I said earlier, that wasn't a how-to tutorial. It was just you guys watching me somewhat do some maintenance on the Abarth and just show you that if I can do it, you guys can definitely do it. So, but if you have any questions about what I used, what parts I got, anything like that, I'll try to link some things down below. But if not, comment down below. Share with anyone that might like this type of content. I'll also leave a couple of other Abarth folks that you might want to consider following. One is Mouseball. He himself is a mechanic, and the things he's done to his Abarth are amazing. It's basically it's a work of art now. Basically, it's more than just a car. And also check out Mikey Turbo. Mikey Turbo, the stuff he's done to his car, and it takes it out and he drives it. I mean, he really drives that car for what I believe it's really meant for. Check out those two guys, and yeah, again, share, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.